Steve Bowers welcoming you to Dialogue here at E+TV6, an opportunity to talk to Dr. Carol A. Rothstein, who is the president of one of our most important institutions. That's Jackson State Community College. We've been talking about this. History goes back to 1967.
That's correct.
So a few years from now, we'll be having a 60th anniversary throwdown, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, all that's coming up. Well, it's good to have you in the city.
Well, thank you.
Right.
It is great to be here. I'm enjoying my time in Jackson.
Okay. Got several things to talk about. I wanted to get some background for those of you that haven't met Dr. Rothstein. And your life started in West Virginia.
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
Okay.
So
I've been to Harper's Ferry. I went to Bethany one time, Wheeling.
Okay.
Some of that area up in there. Radio history there in Wheeling and all. So.
Yeah, I actually grew up about 45 minutes from Harper's Ferry.
Okay.
Very close in a small town called Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. And so both of my parents, they dropped out of school in the 8th grade. They had a lot of family things they wanted to support their families. And so they didn't have a high school education. And really, for my sisters and I, that was expected for us to graduate high school. That was their goal. But college wasn't a goal for us.
Right.
So whenever we graduated high school, it was...
That's it?
That was the expectation.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what did you do? You got married, had children?
Yeah, so after high school, I actually married my high school sweetheart.
All right.
And we've been married 25 years now, but we got married and we had our 3 children. And, we were raising our children, and my husband was working and he was trying to go to school. And my middle daughter was about kindergarten age, and somebody asked her that age-old question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she said, I want to be a nothing like my mother. And, and I realized she was trying to be sweet, like I want to be like my mom, but it struck me that I was not setting a good example for my daughters.
Wow.
I wanted to make sure they saw me as an educated woman, that they had somebody to look up to, and that they knew that I thought education was important.
Wow.
Yeah.
So nobody around you saw college president in your future at all?
No. No.
Okay.
That was not anywhere that I thought I would ever be.
All right, so you've got a high school diploma, married, you got children. So how do you make that change in your life?
So once my daughter made that statement, I decided I had tried to go to college, like a couple classes, and just was very aimless, didn't know if I was doing it right or how, and I was going to a community college and just taking a couple classes here and there and would drop out. Try again, drop out, because it was just a lot, and I just didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
But once she made that statement, I knew I had to be serious. I had to really demonstrate that education was important. So I worked with the community college and started taking a couple extra classes, and then went back to school and finished my degree. I got an associate degree in accounting, and then went on to get a bachelor's degree in education.
Okay.
And that's when I started working at a community college as an admissions counselor.
All right, so you get a bachelor's degree in what area then?
So in education. So in education.
And then go to work for the community college.
Yeah, so at that time, I decided it was part-time, temporary admissions college, or admissions counselor at the community college in West Virginia. And I loved it. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the mission of the community college. I was meeting with individuals like myself who were non-traditional students, adult students with children, first-generation students, and they didn't know how to navigate college, and they were concerned about how to work and how to raise children and how to do all those things, and I was able to help them navigate that, register, figure all of those things out, and that's where I really knew that was my place, that was my purpose, was really helping people navigate their dreams and their goals.
All right. You're not going to become a college president with a bachelor's degree, I don't think. So
no, so
I had to make some other changes.
Yes. So while I was an admissions counselor, I enrolled in a master's degree program and got a master's in management and leadership. And from there, I became a faculty member. And from there, I was asked by the college president to start a new campus for that college in my hometown. And so that was really meaningful to me, because at that time, there was no early college opportunities for students in where I grew up. College was at least an hour away. And so for me, I knew what that meant for that community. And I started that center and enrolled in a doctorate program at Frostburg State University and got a doctorate in higher education leadership.
Oh, wow. So you go back to your hometown then, and you're opening a brand new campus.
Yes.
With parents that went through the 8th grade.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's kind of an interesting transition.
It was, but it was so meaningful because I knew growing up I didn't have early college opportunities. So part of that, opening that center, is I started the first early college program in that county so that students could leave high school at noon and they came over to the center and completed their college courses. We did a lot of fundraising to help pay for the books because in that area, a lot of individuals didn't have the means to pay for tuition or books. So we're very involved in creating scholarships for those students as well.
So how do you get to Tennessee then?
Well, from that position, after I transitioned to Dean of Instruction at a community college in Maryland, and in that role, I took on an interim vice president of academic affairs role and really oversaw a lot of different areas of the college, from the library to the testing center, all the learning technologies, and really got involved in a lot of different things on campus. And, when I was really looking for, vice president, something for the next step, but my husband and I love Tennessee. We've been a Tennessee fan for probably 28 years, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would always come to Knoxville and watch football games every year. That was our
how did that
vacation. My husband was in the Navy, and his friends were all from Chattanooga, and so they would watch the UT football games in '90.
Okay.
We got married in '98, so
big year, huh?
yeah. So
Good
you
year
can
to be a ball
imagine, yes,
fan.
yes. So that
Okay.
kind of started it all for us,
Yeah, okay.
and we just started watching.
Didn't realize
the
that was
UT.
the last one we were going to see for a while. Okay.
For a while, we'll get another one. We'll get another.
It's coming around.
Yes,
Sure is,
yes.
yeah.
So, but that kind of started our just our love for Tennessee, and we would vacation in Tennessee and come down and watch the football games every year, and really just wanted to be in Tennessee. And so there was a position at Nashville State Community College for Vice President of Academic Affairs. And I'll tell you, when I saw the position and I told my husband, I think he started packing. Like, he was like, we're there, we're going.
Okay.
He wanted to be in Tennessee. I wanted to be in Tennessee. So became the Vice President of Academic Affairs at Nashville State Community College and spent almost 3 years at Nashville State. And then this position came available, and my president, Dr. Shauna Jackson, who was an amazing mentor, encouraged me like this is a great position. And I came over to Jackson with my husband, and we drove the 10 counties, and we ate lunch here and dinner in Hardin, and really just felt like this felt very much like home. It was just a great place to be. There's so much potential for the future of all the growth that's happening that we wanted to be here. And so I decided then to apply, and have loved every minute since.
Okay. Because we're different than East Tennessee, that's for sure.
Yes, yes.
Topography and everything, history, it's very, very different here. Okay.
Yes.
So it felt good.
It felt great because one of the things that are the same is that people care about one another. So in East Tennessee, West Tennessee, people are very proud of where they're from, and they're very, they care about each other, and they care about their communities. And so that's the same. And for me, that's what I want. I want to be a part of a community that's a small community, that's growing, that is here to support one another, and are very proud of their history.
Okay. Dr. Carol Rothstein is with us. She's president of Jackson State Community College. It's interesting that you came through a junior college system. It changed your life.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you've been able to see it from scratch as to what it can do, what it means.
Yes.
Okay. All right, excellent. Okay. We're going to continue this conversation. A lot of things going on at Jackson State. We're going to get an update on that, and then the mission and all. I mean, this thing has changed dramatically since 1967, as they all have. So we'll get into that as we continue. This is Dialogue at E+TV6.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Welcome back to Dialogue at ePlus TV 6, continuing our conversation with Dr. Carol A. Rothstein. She is the president of Jackson State Community College. Just joined us. We started in West Virginia. Here we are now in West Tennessee. So you get here, you take this job at Jackson State. So when you come in here, what do you do?
Well, the first thing is to focus on relationships and to start meeting the faculty, the staff, the students, and building that relationship and learning the history of Jackson State and all of the great things that have been accomplished over the years and where we want to go in the future and start building that vision as well. So that was the very first thing, was to have welcome events, bring in community leaders, community partners, everyone in our area to come in and just see Jackson State's campus and to ask questions and get to know them.
Okay. Were they familiar with Jackson State, or was it, some new things, or saw things they didn't expect?
So I think they were the community partners coming in, and they could see some new things that were, some of them were new, and so it was new for them, and others were very familiar with Jackson State, but also could see that things were building for the future.
Okay, all right. So you've been here how long now?
4 months.
Okay, pretty amazing. Well, you've launched a tour here that had started last year.
Yes, yes.
All right, so what are we doing here with this?
So it's our Go Green Tour, and on our Go Green Tour, we do stops throughout all of our 10 counties to provide scholarships to students who are there so that they are committed to coming to Jackson State. And then also this year is new that we're working with UT Martin at Jackson, where they have a center on our campus, and so we're partnering with them to do all of the Go Green Tour stops and provide those scholarships. We'll provide a scholarship, they provide a scholarship, so that we have a great partnership for transfer for those students as well.
Okay. That brings us to the point, how many campuses have you got?
We have 4 campuses. So we have our campus in Jackson, we have a campus in Trenton, our Gibson County Center, a campus in Lexington, and a campus in Savannah.
Okay. Pretty spread out here, so you're covering this.
Yes, so we want to make sure that wherever you are out in our 10 counties that you have options.
Are there different themes at those campuses, or are they all pretty much the same?
So we pretty much try to offer a lot of, especially general education. Some of them have their own middle college, like in Lexington, we started a middle college there.
Okay.
We're also starting some different programs at
What
each
is middle
campus.
college?
So middle college is where students in their junior and senior year of high school come to our campus to take college classes that count both as their high school credit and their college credit. So when they graduate high school, they're graduating with an associate degree at the same time.
As we do with early college high here.
Exactly,
right? Okay.
yes.
So it's a different model of that.
Yes, and we also have that at our Trenton Center as well, and we're trying to expand that for other school systems.
What is the enrollment now at Jackson State?
So our enrollment is a little bit above 3,000. So one of the things with COVID, of course, nationally, enrollments have dropped for most community colleges across the nation, and we've been building that back, and our enrollment is growing now and has stabled from this year, and we're looking forward to growing in the future.
So the Green Tour, put you out in all these communities,
Yes.
one-on-one opportunity then to talk. And then this is the first time Martin has linked with this.
Yes, yes.
And I guess many people may not realize that you can stay at Jackson and get a degree from UT.
Absolutely, yes, you can do that.
Never leave your
yes.
campus,
That's
right?
exactly right. And we're very proud of that partnership. We want students to know that we're a springboard. So if you want to go into a career, we'll point the springboard that direction. If you want to go into criminal justice, we'll do that. If you want to go to a 4-year, we'll just point that springboard that way and launch a student to whatever their goal is. You can go to whatever your goal, your career dream is, or your future goal. You want to get a doctorate? You can start with Jackson State and you get into the pipeline to get on that pathway.
All right, start here and go in where you want to.
That's absolutely correct.
And we were doing this show in February of 2024, and Governor Lee was just here.
That's right.
All right, the purpose of his visit?
He was coming to see our advanced maintenance tech program, and that's a co-op with our 32 companies, industry partners, and where our students, they come to class 2 days a week, and then they go work 3 days a week with one of our industry partners. And so they're learning advanced maintenance technician skills and abilities. They'll get their associate degree while they're working as well. And that is a program that just won a national award for a program of promise through the National Association for Student Success. And so he wanted to come and see our program because we're producing such high quality graduates that are working right now in the field.
Okay. And so, you were joined with President of TCAT as well.
Yes. President McMillan was with us as well because the governor came to tour our program, but also their industrial maintenance program. And we're building articulations for students who start in the TCAT program to come over and finish their associate degree with us. Again, all about being a good partner.
Well, I know you got a significant medical program with the nursing program.
Yes.
That runs, with great success as far as graduation rates and everything else.
Yes, one of the best in the state.
Yeah, and our hospital it sings your praises all the time, I think, with that program. We had the addition of the McWhorter Tech Center a few years ago. Now we got this new facility that's coming on. So what's different about it?
So with the new building, and that's a project that the Chamber has really been a great supporter of and have really been championing this building of a collaboration between Jackson State, TCAT Jackson, and our industry partners, so our manufacturing industry partners. And so this building will house all of that. And part of that will be our advanced maintenance technician program that is supplying our workforce right now into those industry partners. Will expand, so we'll be able to expand that and add additional cohorts, additional students to that program. TCAT will move into that as well with their tool and die program. And then we'll have labs that are set up for training for our industry partners. And that's customizable training, so we will work individually with those industry representatives to tell us what kind of training they want, what outcomes they want. We'll build that program for them and house that training in that building. And we have a meeting coming up very soon with multiple industry partners to tell us now, as we're building it, what would they like to see so we can put it in that building.
So this is much more direct link then with the industry than sometimes we've had trades or what are skills.
Absolutely.
But these are industry specific then.
Absolutely. So they'll tell us exactly what they would like to see, what kind of training. We'll build out that training program, and then we can train on a specific piece of equipment, or if they want leadership training, we can do that as well. But we'll build out these, we're calling them flex labs. They're flexible labs that we can adjust based on what the industry really wants us to be training specifically for them.
As I understand it, this building is built to where they can be changed out pretty easily then.
Yeah,
right?
so those flexible labs are built so that we can roll equipment out and roll equipment in and adjust that. As you know, industry changes so rapidly that their equipment's going to change, so we want to make sure we're building for the future and not just for what we need right now.
Okay, that'll be a significant change.
Yes.
Because sometimes I know some of this equipment gets heavy and the stuff has been moved into buildings. Once it's in there, it's like, well, who's going to move this now, right?
Right, yeah.
You can't tear down 3 walls to get this stuff out of here.
Yeah, so we're building it very strategically to make sure there's access to move equipment in and out very easily.
Okay. How do you keep the communication open then with industry? What's the technique?
So I've had tours, so I've reached out individually to different companies and go to their site to tour their manufacturing facilities, their plants, so I can kind of learn a little bit about what they do, what their needs are. They can hear about Jackson State. Also bringing in some of our industry representatives for a roundtable meeting so that they can help me understand globally what their needs are and help build those programs. And so a lot of it is just, again, going back to relationships, building that relationship one-on-one, but then also bringing our partners all together so that we can continue that conversation.
You would see the workforce development's got to be a challenge right now, right? So it looks as if you're front line with all this.
Absolutely. I mean, workforce development is critical. It's something that we always will need, and it will always adjust and change. And so we want to be nimble. We want to be responsive to our partners' needs, and that's manufacturing. That's also healthcare. Working with our partners like West Tennessee Healthcare to do customized training. Tell us what you would like to see. We will build it, and we will work together to make sure it is exactly what they need. So we're just trying to stay nimble, to stay on that cutting edge, to really support our partners.
Dr. Carol Rothstein is with us. She is the president of Jackson State Community College. We'll continue this dialogue here at E+TV6.
What this place needs is better graduation rates.
What this place needs is less childhood obesity.
What this place needs is free help with taxes.
What this place needs is healthy breakfasts.
What this place needs is fitness programs for kids.
What this place needs is early readers.
What this place needs is mentors for teens.
What this place needs is people to join us. What this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org.
Welcome back to Dialogue at ePlusTV6 as we continue our conversation with Dr. Carol A. Rothstein. She is the president of Jackson State Community College. You've got a new initiative called Greenlight. So what is this?
Yeah, so Project Greenlight was started with a grant from TBR, and it's really about reimagining the community college experience. Typically, when a student would go to college, you've got to take all of your general education courses before you would get to a course that's really in your major or something that's interesting to you. So we're trying to reimagine that experience where right away you're going to start with the courses in your major, in your program of study, so you can get something that's interesting to you while you're also taking your important general education courses. Part of that too is to create certificates in the first semester of your program so that you can complete the certificate, and it's a work-based certificate so that you can go and also get a job, a better job, on your way to get your associate degree as well. So really trying to front load that experience so that you can begin working and also begin developing those skills in your program.
What about we didn't think of that years ago, right?
Right.
Because that is a complaint.
Exactly. You want to get in there and
I mean, world history may be important, but, right? Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. That would change. Has that been implemented or is it being
Yes, so that is implemented and we are working on that right now.
Okay. Now, we've touched on several things. Of course, workforce development is a key thing. We've heard a lot about that the last few years with Blue Oval and everybody coming in, the industrial base expanding in West Tennessee with Tyson and all these other folks that are coming in, Georgia Pacific here, and all the things. But then there are many other things. You've talked about medical, which is extremely important. It's been a long-standing thing. What else can I learn at Jackson State?
So we have our criminal justice program, which is an excellent program, and they also have some grants that are help supporting some of their training as well, where you can come in and there's a simulator designed to help law enforcement understand when they're interacting with an individual who may have certain disabilities or perhaps they have autism, how can you interact better with that individual to de-escalate situations or to better communicate with that person? And so one of the things the criminal justice program has done recently was to bring in our first responders and law enforcement personnel to help do a training on that interactions that they could have. So criminal justice is an excellent program. It's a growing program that we offer as well.
One time cybersecurity was a big thing.
Absolutely. So that's another one of our, cybersecurity, information technology, those are also growing programs, and we offer all of those programs at our different campuses. We offer some online as well. So if you're a working individual, you can take those IT programs online. You can come to our campus and take those, but those are set you up for a lot of future success as well.
There, and then we talked about medical is not just nursing, there are all kinds of certifications.
Absolutely. So you have medical lab technician, you have medical coding. There's our RAD Tech program is amazing. We're also adding surgical technology, and so we're working on that now and in response to the need for that program. And so as we're working on that, if students are interested in surgical technology, they could certainly go ahead and get started with Jackson State because you will need medical terminology or English comp in your math courses, so they could start this fall. So we're hoping to have that program up and running in January of 2026, but we're going through the accreditation processes now.
At one time, I think people thought Jackson State was you get out of high school and you go to junior college and you either finish there or go on and do something else. Then we went through a phase when a lot of retraining was going on. Non-traditional students started showing up at Jackson State, and it became much more of a mixed campus. So what is it today?
It still is a mixed campus. We have a lot of dual enrollment, so students in the high school taking those early college opportunities that will help set them up for future success. But we also have a lot of students coming right out of high school because we have the Promise program through the state of Tennessee to help pay their tuition. And then we have a lot of students who are non-traditional, adult students or students who have young children that are also taking advantage of the Reconnect program that will pay their tuition as well. And so it is still a mixed campus where we really are here to help anyone that wants to go into a career or go into a four-year program for the future. Everybody can come into Jackson State, and we have a lot of opportunities for grants to help pay their tuition, but we also have our foundation where we have some scholarships available in our foundation as well.
Because COVID just kind of blew the world up there for a while.
Yes, it did.
And so as far as on-campus enrollment, that's coming back.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's where the student experience is in many ways.
Yes,
right?
yeah. So we see enrollment growing in the 10 counties that are in our service area. We see a lot of growth in that area as well. And so we see a lot of interest from our dual enrollment students, but also our adult students coming back.
The athletic program went through a change a few years ago to become the Green Jays. There were two Jackson General teams in town there for a while, so we got the Green, but now we're going to try to name the mascot.
Yes. So we have our mascot, and the mascot has been out at different events, but yes, we are going through the process of naming our mascot, and so we will send that out for our partners, our community friends and partners to vote on the name.
Okay. Is there a timetable on that? We're doing this in February.
Okay, so this will be during the month of March that we'll have the voting open for the naming of the mascot.
By the time you see this again or whatever, we may have that mascot named. We'll get a name for the Green Jay. But the athletic program has been a good one, a long history.
Absolutely, and I would say our women's basketball team, they are on fire this season, and last I checked, they were 11-3, so I don't know what their last couple games were, but they've been doing an amazing job.
Okay, so that's always good to hear. Well, you've been here for a few months. All right, you've got to look at us and whatever, kind of get to know us. And where are we headed together here with Jackson State?
So we're going to continue building on those relationships, continuing those partnerships, and expanding everything that we can do. I've been meeting with school superintendents to understand what their needs are, meeting with our industry partners to understand their needs, we're all here for our community at the end of the day. How can we make this better? How do we make this better for our employment, but better for our members, the people who live here and work here every day. So we'll continue building on those relationships and expanding those, but building our resources for Jackson State through our foundation, building more donations to help support our students. Again, going back to the population of Jackson State, we have all students, and so some of our students struggle with their day-to-day finances and need some support beyond the promise to help build for their textbooks. I met a student the other day who is a mother of a 7-year-old, and she's a single mother working, and so through the foundation, she's been able to help support some of those extra.
Well, at one time, of course, tuition rates have gone up significantly over the last 20, 30 years, and state support has varied out there. So the foundation has become an important thing. How do people get involved with it?
So you can actually go to our website and find the foundation on our website, JSCC.edu, and go to the foundation there and get involved with that. Contact me, contact Lindsay Tritt as our foundation director, and look for ways to get involved in our foundation. We have a lot of different scholarships that we would love to have people donate, or we can share stories about how those dollars have helped our students graduate and become successful.
That's open any time, right?
Yes. We'll always take your money anytime to help support students.
For people to know and to know how it's done and where it's going. It's not going just into capital projects, but into people.
Right. There's so many different ways that the foundation helps the college, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's about students. And so giving students that they need, what the resources that they need. And sometimes that is through capital projects if they need new equipment, updated labs, things like that. But we do a lot with the scholarships, and that's really where it goes back to pay direct expenses for students.
Well, Doctor, you're an amazing story, I think. We're glad to have you in West Tennessee, but I look at your life. Parents go through the 8th grade. My grandparents went through the 8th grade. I've been through the same kind of thing, but then to go to college, not to go to high school, and that's kind of it, right? And then I would think you probably would have been considered the least likely to have become a college president, I would think, right?
Yes, it was never something that was on my radar. Even just going to college was never on my radar. Right. But when I became an admissions counselor, I fell in love with being, I fell in love with the community college mission. And one thing my parents did teach me was hard work. And that's something that's carried on for me, and a passion for students.
All right. Good to have you in West Tennessee.
Thank you.
Hope you like us. I think we're going to like you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, it's good to have you here. Dr. Carol A. Rothstein, she is the president of Jackson State Community College. Thanks to Dr. Rothstein for being with us. Thanks to you for sharing this time with us. And stay with us here at E+ TV6, because this is the place where the dialogue continues.